All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the men of the Lord, prophesying, preaching, and teaching on the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. Shalom, Barakatham. And you see this video of this guy here. This is the Elder Rakah out of GOCC. A lot of controversy. Elders knocking and going in on. And we've always known this guy believed that Esau can basically be saved. He tries to make up excuses, but recently it came up on this, you see here, the future of Edomites, which he will say that they're Europeans, okay, which he's correct on that. He's saying that they can be saved. Now, it's no coincidence that he's saying this, and then you have subscribers of almost 100,000, all right? And you know, ultimately all of this is for views and clicks, whether this guy, you know, wants to admit it to himself or not. That's what he's in the business of, you know. This is just another way of merchandising the truth, you know. And the Lord is going to destroy you. That's a reason why it speaks about in First Peter, I believe, of judgment beginning at the house of Israel, man, because this is dangerous, you know. And the scriptures speak about all of these wayward doctrines coming to pass and people succumbing to them. All right. So as the men of the Lord willing, we be of that number of the elect. We're here to warn you, man. You know, now I have a gang of precepts ready, but we'll play just a snippet of what this guy is going on and on about. But basically, a Jake called into his radio show asking about his doctrine. You know, and so I'm gonna play a little bit of this, and we'll get a few precepts, and we'll know you'll follow the spirit. You know. Here you go.
Let me know when you're there.
I'm here.
Okay, I'm going to read it. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her and said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thine womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. So we both agree that this is the first child that came out that we are not to abhor, correct?
All right, so I'm gonna pause right there because you notice he went to the first coming out red that we should not abhor. All right, now this is surrounding the controversy of Deuteronomy 23:7, where you know it basically says thou should not abhor an Edomite. Now, you know, there's 2 ways that he's wrong on this, right? You know, one way the elders have broken this down a while ago about the Deuteronomy. Let me just type in the word Aram, all right, and Edom, all right. How easily those 2 words can be confused if your handwriting, even if your just handwriting isn't good, all right, or somebody misread it. So you look at the word Ram, you have the the Ra, and the Ma, the M phonetic, right? So when you go back to Deuteronomy 23:7, you go to Edom, patronymic form, right? Adam, you have the the Da, and the Ma. All right, so look at these 2, right? So you can see how closely these words are. Now, the elders brought this out a while ago that when they were translating this particular verse, that when it talks about thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother, this is talking about the Arameans, all right, which are descendants of the Assyrians, you know. And let me go back. To this. So he's talking about thou shalt not abhor. He tries to say that this word means hate, but really this word means just to detest or be disgusted by it. It goes into being abominable. Like you see something, you're like, ugh. Like that's what the word abhor means. It doesn't really mean the word hate. There's a different Hebrew word for the word hate. This word here is tawab, I believe. And he's just off altogether. Now, the second context, you have to realize that let's say even if he's right about the typographical error, and this does say Edom, even if that's true, all right, you got to read the context of what Deuteronomy 23 is talking about. This is talking about persons excluded from the assembly. So it's talking about people who can and cannot be included in the assembly, and it's just talking about us as a nation, right? Salakia, 1 second. So this is talking about who can and can't enter into the assembly. So here it's talking about even Israelites here who can't enter. And if you have wounded in the stones, you can't be in the assembly. It's basically saying Ammon and Moab, they're never going to enter the assembly. It says even to the 10th generation, they're not going to enter into the assembly. But the scriptures do allow for heathen to be a part of a congregation for certain events. Now they can't go into the holies of holies. They can't be with you on Passover, things of that nature. But there are laws and statutes where people dwell among us. Why? Because we have slaves, man. We have people in our households that are heathen. So that's ultimately what this is talking about. It's not saying that you can't abhor an Edomite, in any other context. Like what he did to us for our land and everything. It's saying, thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. Skipping on down. The children that are begotten of them shall enter into the congregation of the Lord Yahweh in their third generation. So what that means is, especially in like the times of war, when you would capture, people, and they would be slaves and servants, there's a period of time where they're not to partake in the things that we partake in. But in their third generation, all right, of servitude, they can be part of the congregation and do, a limited particular amount of things, all right? And that's what it's talking about in the case of thou shalt not abhor an Assyrian really here. But even if that applied to Esau, it still doesn't discount everything else that the scriptures speak about on this guy. But let's go and let him finish.
Yes.
Correct.
And we also agree that this is the firstborn that was prophesied to Rebekah, who his children would one day serve the younger, right? The elder shall serve the younger. This is the servant that came out first, correct?
Correct.
All right. Now, how will Esau fulfill his prophecy where his children are serving Israel? How can they do that dead? Now, I'm going to show you. It's impossible for them to do that dead. So Christ would have to do what? He would have to extend a way in which Esau can get in his kingdom to serve. Now, in order for Esau to serve the younger, he must be saved to do it.
So you see how he's trying to manipulate his way into this. He's using this language saved. Well, another word for being saved is to be reserved. Now let's read Job 21, all right, and 30. It says, I'm gonna start at 29. It says, have ye not asked them that go by the way, and do ye not know their tokens? And we know the tokens of Esau. It says that the wicked is reserved to the day of destruction. They shall be brought forth to the day of wrath. So just because the Lord preserved you, he saved you, maybe the Edomites that make it through the thermonuclear destruction, and there will be, right? that doesn't mean you're quote unquote saved. See, he's trying to use that word saved to manipulate you into thinking that salvation is anybody that's going to be in the kingdom of heaven, and that's not what the scriptures are saying. All right. Just because they're going to be there doesn't mean, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai saved them or is having mercy on them. Because what are they being saved for? Ultimately, to get holy hell put on them, man. Can you really call that salvation if every day outside of the Shabbat, in particular high holy days, you getting a foot put up your ass? Just getting the whatever he did to us, he's going to get at least double. And you can't even calculate the wickedness he did to us. So is that really salvation? All right. Now, what does the scripture say about who is going to be saved? It's pretty clear. This is Luke 19 and 9. I'm going to start at 9. Red letter 2, it says, and Yahweh Shai said unto him, this day is salvation come to this house. And which house is he talking about? For so much as he also is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost. Now, were the Edomites ever lost? Can you lose something? Can you lose a watch that never belonged to you? No, because he just went to Genesis 25, where it outlines, or maybe not 25, I think it's 27, who gets the blessing. All right? It was never promised for you to have anything. All right? And the scriptures is saying that for the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost. The only ones that can be lost are the Israelites, because we're the ones who were chosen. We're the ones who were promised, life. And we lost our way. We went off. We did all types of detestable things and basically cheated on the Most High, through different philosophies and embracing these other cultures and ideologies, man. Committing adultery, idolatry, all types of things we were into. That's what it's talking about. We were the ones that were lost. So we're the only ones that can be quote unquote saved. All right. So this guy trying to stretch it out to Esau, and he's just looking stupid.
Extend the way in which Esau can get in his kingdom to serve. Now, in order for Esau to serve the younger, he must be saved to do it.
Through.
Okay?
I guess.
Oh, no. I'm saying, so listen. So now, listen. Listen, brother, I'm teaching so simple a baby can understand this right now. And
right, and you're despite you being an elder, you're actually a baby in the Bible, if that's your understanding. Either that or you're just being willfully ignorant or wicked, man. All right, let's read it one more time. Luke 19 and 10, for the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost. How also do we know that who are the lost ones, man? How else do we know this? Matthew 15 and 24. But he answered and said, red letter again, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So those are the ones who are lost, man. How do you not get it? Romans 9 and 3. It says, for I could wish that myself were accursed from a Mashiach, from my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh. All right. So this is talking about the blood descendants. All right, of Hamashiach, who are the Israelites, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption. So that adoption goes into being saved. When you adopt a child out of foster care, man, you save that child. Because we all know what happens to kids in foster care. All right. Like I was watching that show Power or Ghost, and he's his little sister Yasmin, man. Basically went into the foster care system, and you see him hustling to do what? To save his little sister, man, by adopting her or preventing her from being adopted by somebody else that's not her blood, So when it says to whom pertaineth the adoption, this is talking about salvation, man. It says, or one layer of it at least. It says, and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom as concerning the flesh Hamashiach came, who is over all, God blessed forever. All right. So that's quite clear of who can be saved, man. Who the Israelites are, man. All right. Not Esau, Edom. This is Acts 11 and 19. It says, now they which were scattered abroad upon the persecution that arose about Stephen traveled as far as Phoenix and Cyprus and Antioch, preaching the word to none but the Jews only. All right. So why are they only preaching to the Jews only? This is after Stephen got put to death. So which means this is after Yahushua was crucified, man. And they're out there preaching to Jews only. It says, and some of them men were men of Cyprus and Cyrene, which, when they were come to Antioch, spake unto the Grecians, all right, preaching the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, which proves the Grecians were also referred to, the Jews were also referred to as Grecians. Because in verse 19 it says they're preaching to the Jews only, and then it says they spake unto the Grecians, all right? So we went by different names, man. All you guys come up with these doctrines trying to prove that Esau, you know, and all these other heathen can make it, don't understand the Bible, they don't understand the scriptures. You know, a lot of you skip the Apocrypha, the account of the Maccabees, to understand the context of what's happening beginning in Matthew, all right? When the Messiah and John the Baptist came back on the scene, y'all missing it, man. Y'all don't get it. All right? More. Tobit 13 and 3, it says, confess him before the Gentiles, ye children of Israel, for he hath scattered us among them. All right, so this proves that we were going to be among the Gentiles. That's why they're in Greece. That's why they were in Rome. That's why they were in Asia Minor. All right. And all you know, all Thessalonica, all these different parts of Europe. Why? Because we were scattered there during the time of the Maccabees, man, or during the time of Antiochus, you know. And it's not the only time we were scattered. The northern kingdom was scattered during the Assyrian captivity. It says, there declare his greatness and extol him before all of the living, for he is our Lord, and he is the power of our Father forever. And he will scourge us for our iniquities, and will have mercy again, and will gather us out of all nations. So we would be among all nations. So stop trying to use the scriptures to say, oh, these other nations can make it, Esau can make it. Now he's included in these heathen and these Gentiles. He's included as a Gentile, but the Gentiles can't make it. All right. It says, among whom he hath scattered us. All right. So that's pretty clear. Psalms 94 and 14. The Lord Yahweh will not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance, man. Because what you're basically saying is the Lord is going to go back on his promise. He put us, Israel, above all nations. All right. He promised us the covenant when you read Jeremiah 31. All right. That's our inheritance, Jeremiah 30 and 31, man. Not anybody else. So this guy is completely bugged out, man.
In order for Esau to listen, in order for Esau to serve Jacob, he have to be living, right?
Living to do what? Living to do what, man? To go through a hardcore bondage, man. And ultimately, it doesn't say he's going to serve forever. That's what this guy isn't getting. Just because he's going to serve doesn't mean he's going to be around forever. And I'll get that in Obadiah in a second. This is Psalms. So like it. Let's read what he did, though. Joel 3 and 4. It says, yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and the coast of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. Because ye have taken my you have taken my silver and gold, and carried into your temple my goodly pleasant things. All right, meaning they spoiled us. The children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have he sold unto the Grecians. All right. Now, in this case, we weren't in Greece yet. So this is talking about the Edomites, man. It says that ye might remove them far from their border, and we were removed far from our border, not during the Greek captivity or the Roman captivity. Why? Because you still had Jake that were coming in to Passover, man. Once we got over here to the Americas, there was no temple, man. We're not coming back here for the Passover, to the temple, you know. So this proves that these Grecians are talking about this transatlantic slave trade. All right. So you are the Edomites, Esau. It says, "Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head." All right. So has that happened yet? So just because these nations are going to be in the kingdom doesn't mean they're going to be saved, quote unquote. No, salvation is having the new covenant promised to you and then consummated when Yahweh Shai returns, man. All right. Amos 9:1-9, it says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Tyrus, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remembered not the brotherly covenant, but I will send fire on the wall of Tyrus, which shall devour the places thereof," man. So Edom put us in captivity. All right. Now you have to ask yourself, what does it say in Revelation 13 and 10? It says, "If he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity." Now, has Esau gone into captivity yet for that transatlantic slave trade that he partook in? No. That he fueled and ran and went head first into for hundreds and hundreds of years and made trillions and trillions of dollars? No, he hasn't. It says, "He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword." Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So has Esau been killed yet for him killing us? No, he has not. Absolutely not. Now you can read what's coming to Esau in Ezekiel 25. All right. And I'll read verse 12. It says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because that Edom hath dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and hath greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, I will also stretch out my hand upon Edom, and will cut off man and beast from it, and will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword." All right. When has this happened? It hasn't happened yet, but it's going to happen. All right. And it says, "And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hand of my people Israel." When have we done that? This is after King David was ruling. So Ezekiel's prophesying this after King David had the Edomites in rulership, or under his subjection, I should say. Salakia. So this is talking about us getting vengeance on them by his people Israel. The Lord getting vengeance on Edom by his people Israel. Again, it says, "And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and to my fury, and they shall know my vengeance, saith the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai." All right. So that's what's coming to Edom. All right. So just because they're going to be in the kingdom doesn't mean they're quote unquote saved. This guy is completely bugged out. He doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And this is a so-called elder, man. You know. Now, when you read Obadiah 1:15 down to 18, you'll clearly see. I'll just read verse 18, Obadiah 1:18, and I'll end it there. It says, "And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau. For the Lord Yahweh hath spoken it." The Lord spoke it, man. Yahweh spoke it. There shall not be any remaining. Okay? So how is Esau going to be, quote unquote, saved if the Lord is saying he's going to be exterminated? Now, how is he going to, now to his question, how is he going to serve the younger? He's going to have 1,000 years of slavery. That's how. And then after that, 1,000 years, you can read that in Revelation. Then this is gonna happen. Obadiah 1:18 is gonna happen. All right. So I just wanted to say peace on that. You gotta watch these guys out here, man, with these crazy doctrines. You know, because they'll do it to get subscribers or followers or just money out of people. You know, notice this guy, he got cash apps all over the place. That's how you know something off. The first thing you see in big bold letters is cash apps, then you already know. All right. So with that, hopefully y'all brothers were edified. Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rachak Wadash Wa Abba Babal. Shalom.